Hi, welcome to Amy's Autopsy Report. My name's Amy, and I am going to review a movie from the 80s called Blood Rage. Where do you guys see this DVD cover? This was a blind buy. I bought this the same time I bought The Mutilator, which was the other Arrow release that had the DVD combo pack in it, Blu-ray DVD combo pack. This one's called Blood Rage. It was, originally it was called Slasher, and it was filmed in 83 and not released until 87. The sole reason, well, I'd heard a lot about this movie, but the sole reason I bought this movie was the tagline on the cover. Let me show you. See that? Let me get it in the picture here. This Thanksgiving, it's not cranberry sauce. Blood Rage. Okay, this film was directed by, let's see here, John Grissmer. This starts out at a drive-in, and a mother and her date and her two twin boys, who I would guess are about, I don't know, 8 or something, 7 or 8. They're in the back of the car, sleeping, and the mother's kind of like making out with this guy in the front, and they're at the drive-in movie. And so this the mother doesn't want to continue the date because she's afraid the boys will wake up, and the guy says, "Oh no, don't worry about it." So the boys end up waking up. They sneak out of the back of the car, and one of the twins, Terry, their names are Terry and Todd. Terry starts watching another couple making out in another car, and the guy in that car sees the kid and says, "Get out of here, get out of here. I don't want, get away from the car, that kind of thing." And he stays there, and he takes an axe. I can't remember now where he even got the axe. But he has like a little hatchet, or gets it from the back of some truck or something, I think. Goes over to the car, and Terry axes this guy in the face. So that's how the movie starts. Terry immediately puts blood all over his brother Todd, his twin brother Todd, blames the murder on Todd. Todd is kind of catatonic because of the trauma of seeing his brother axe this guy in the face. And Todd is blamed for the murder and then put in an institution. So that's the very beginning of the movie. Then it cuts to years later. They're having a Thanksgiving dinner. And Terry and the mother and the mother's fiance, they're announcing that they're getting married, at the dinner table, and a couple of other people, they're all at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and the mother receives a phone call that Todd has escaped the institution. So what happens is, then Terry ends up starting to pick people off, because everybody at this point thinks the whole time that Todd has been the one that's been the murderer. And Terry, the twin brother, is actually the one picking people off. So that's not really a spoiler. You find that out right away. Nothing hidden about that. So let's talk about the things I liked about this movie. I liked the idea of the twin brothers and one, the sort of the wrong man being blamed for the murder. I liked that. It had practical effects in it, of course, because it was the 80s. The effects were hilarious. They were some of them were so fake, but they were so great, because like in one of the first kills, this guy gets his hand cut off, and he had a beer in his hand. So his hand and the beer falls on the floor, and his hand's moving around. And it's like obviously this fake arm that is up in the, and he's holding it like this, and it's like one stream of blood shooting out. So that was great. And the fact that this is taking place on Thanksgiving, because there's very few slashers that take place on Thanksgiving, and a holiday slasher is always fun. So, that was good. Some of the music was hilarious in this movie. Occasionally it was kind of, I want to say distracting, because it was very 80s and like synth pop or something. So yeah, I like that. The pacing of this movie was very fast. The movie was not long. I want to say it was 86 minutes or something like that. And it moved along really quickly. Overall, it did move quickly. And I think the body count I counted was 7. The body count was 7. And, of course you have the interaction with the twins, coming through, and so things that I didn't like about this movie. One thing that I always notice in these 80s films, actually any film, when the people in the film are supposed to be, now these people were not supposed to be high school or college, I don't think. Well, maybe they were supposed to be college. They all looked like they were in their 30s. So nobody ever looks age appropriate in these movies where they're either high school or college. They all look like they're in their 20s or 30s. So I always find that funny. Another thing, like I said, the music was kind of weird in some sections. That kind of got distracting a little bit. I believe the twins were played by the same guy. So there were obviously a couple times that you could tell that, he's fighting a stunt double, because it just didn't look the same. So that was kind of funny. Overall, I actually really liked this movie. Like I said, I had not seen this movie. It was a blind buy. I've heard about it for years, along with The Mutilator. I'd heard about both of those for years and just never really came across them. These Arrow releases are great. There's actually 3 versions of this movie in this pack. And you know what? I think I'm going to give this movie definitely a 4 out of 5. The tagline alone is hilarious. And he actually says that like 3 times. He says, "This Thanksgiving, it's not cranberry sauce." He says it like 3 times, which is awesome. So if you're looking for a good, fun slasher to hang out with friends and have a couple of beers or something, this is definitely a good one. Super happy about this purchase. It was just a fun time, fun movie. Like I said, moved along really quickly. And I'm really enjoying these Arrow releases too. So if anybody out there from Arrow is watching or sees this, these releases you guys are doing are great. So that about wraps it up for that one. Hope you liked the video. If you liked it, click the like button, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends if you think anybody else would be interested in these videos. All right, that's it. I will catch you in the next one.